Let's start by picturing something in your mind's eye. Imagine a tap running freely, crystal clear water just pouring right out into the sink. It's something most of us see every single day, right? Now, snap to a completely different image. Picture dry, severely cracked earth just baking under a relentless sun. That stark contrast, that's exactly what we're looking at today as we tackle a massive, essential global challenge: water scarcity. We all know clean water is absolutely crucial for life, but the reality of who actually gets that water, well, it's a fascinating and incredibly urgent story. Welcome to this explainer on the global thirst. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so let's dive into this. We live on a place literally called the blue planet. I mean, when you look at Earth from space, it looks like a giant swirling marble of deep blue oceans. It seems completely infinite. So it begs a huge, almost paradoxical question. If we're absolutely surrounded by water, why in the world are we running out of it? It's kind of a macro-level illusion of abundance, you know? And to really understand the global water crisis, we need to break that illusion down.
What's really interesting here is that we essentially live in a bucket versus thimble reality. I absolutely love this metaphor because it puts things into perspective instantly. Just imagine a massive bucket representing all the water on Earth. It's huge, right? But the vast majority of that bucket is salt water in our oceans. We can't drink it and we definitely can't use it for farming. What we can actually use, the drinkable fresh water, is represented by just a tiny little thimble sitting next to that giant bucket. And to make matters even tighter, a huge chunk of that already tiny thimble is actually frozen solid in glaciers. So the usable liquid water we actually have access to, it's a minuscule fraction of what we see on the map.
Section 1. Billions without safe water. Now that we understand the planetary limits, we really need to shift our focus from that macro-level view right down to the staggering human cost of this resource scarcity.
2.1 billion. According to data from water.org, that is the staggering number of people on our planet right now who just do not have access to safe water. I mean, let that sink in for a second. That's roughly 1 in every 4 people worldwide. For those of us used to simply turning on a faucet whenever we're thirsty, it's really hard to comprehend the daily reality for these billions of people. We're talking about individuals having to walk for hours every single day just to gather water for their families. And the truly heartbreaking part? Even after that grueling journey, the water they collect might still be contaminated, carrying a very real risk of making them severely sick. Section 2, the urban water crisis. Let's move to and see how this builds as we zoom in from global populations to our rapidly expanding cities. The trajectory of our urban environments, according to some eye-opening findings from a UNESCO report, is frankly alarming. If we look back at 2016, we had about 930 million people in urban areas facing water shortages. That's already a massive number. But look at the projection for mid-century, the year 2050. That number is expected to explode to somewhere between 1.7 and 2.4 billion people. The urban population dealing with dry taps and severe water shortages is going to more than double in just a few decades. We're talking about millions more people packed into growing city skylines, all needing a share of that tiny freshwater thimble we talked about earlier. So, we have to ask, why exactly is this happening? What's driving the taps dry? Well, the drivers of scarcity are a compounding mix of environmental and human factors. First on the list, we have droughts. Literally just not enough rain falling where populations have historically relied on it. Second is the severe pollution of our rivers and lakes. When factories dump waste or trash fills a river, that water is effectively permanently removed from our usable supply. Third, as we just saw, sheer urban population growth. We just have too many people in concentrated areas drawing from the exact same heavily strained sources. And finally, domestic and industrial waste. This is the staggering overconsumption in our own homes and industries, where something as simple as a single leaky toilet can silently waste up to 200 gallons a day. Section 3, Global and Community Solutions. Okay, we've seen the agitation of the problem, and yeah, it's serious, but we are absolutely not helpless here. Let's actively pivot and look at the empowering, large-scale solutions currently taking place around the world.
The crucial point here is international cooperation. Enter Sustainable Development Goal 6, or SDG 6 for short. This is the United Nations' specific blueprint for global water security. It's essentially a worldwide promise, a coordinated effort to ensure that absolutely everyone on Earth has access to clean, safe water and proper sanitation by the year 2030. It's a highly ambitious target for sure, but having a unified, globally recognized goal is the foundational step to actually solving this crisis.
And how do we actually reach that massive global goal? Through highly effective local action, supported by groups like UNEP, the United Nations Environment Program, who work to strengthen countries' capacities. Communities aren't just sitting around waiting. They're actively achieving water security through some incredible innovations. They're collecting rainwater in villages to capture what falls from the sky right before it runs off. They're setting up local filtration systems so river water is safe for daily use. They're tackling infrastructure by simply fixing the leaky municipal pipes that lose millions of gallons every single day. And they're even actively restoring polluted lakes to bring back those natural freshwater reservoirs. These are practical, structural solutions happening on the ground right now. Section 4. Your everyday impact. Now, let's zoom this narrative all the way down to the micro level, right into your own bathroom and kitchen. Learning to avoid wasting water is a direct, tangible action you can take to help achieve these huge UN targets. These personal actions might seem incredibly simple, but they are highly powerful conservation habits. Turn off the tap while you're brushing your teeth. It's a simple habit that actually saves up to 4 gallons of water every single time you do it. Take shorter showers. If you see a leaky faucet at home or even at school or work, report it or fix it. As someone focused on learning and applying knowledge, you have the absolute power to stop water waste directly at the source.
The reality is, every single drop counts in this global effort. That's the inspiring message I really want you to take away from this explainer today. The global water crisis can feel overwhelmingly huge. I mean, we're talking about billions of people and international blueprints here. But individual, everyday actions, they scale up dramatically. By using water wisely, you are genuinely helping tackle a huge global challenge. You become an active part of the solution to ensure everyone has access to this precious resource.
Which brings us to our final thought. The world is waking up to this scarcity. International bodies are mobilizing, local communities are innovating, and individuals are changing their habits to save water. So the provocative question I'll leave you with today as you go about your day is this: will you turn off the tap? Thank you so much for exploring this vital topic with me. Keep asking questions, keep applying what you learn, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.